Okay, so we're moving forward with the video and Amy Cuddy, and we're trying to get our arms around the experiment that she did. Okay, so she's the social psychologist. She's measuring this gender gap, and she did something. She did some kind of an experiment. So we're trying to figure out what are they testing and what did they do to test it. Machiko, can you help us with that?
Yes, do our nonverbal govern how we think and feel about ourselves? She want to make sure our nonverbal expression, our body language, affect ourselves. So in order to figure out,
Okay,
she
if it affects ourselves. Okay, so we're talking about body language right now,
yeah.
right? All right. Sandra, scoot over a little bit. We're going to give her some more space. Lady, scoot over just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
want you, okay. Sit up and I want you to look at the people you're talking to, okay? I want you to make eye contact and move through what you want to say. So, when you say how body language affects us, what do you mean affects us? What does that
Affect
mean?
mm, our body language can change ourselves. That is
Hmm.
her question.
Change ourselves. What does that
Mm.
mean? And it's okay. All of us, anybody can help with this. What do you mean change ourselves? Like we can be taller. We could stop lying so much. Or how does it change us?
To get more, to have confidence in her power. How
Okay, to have confidence and power. So they're measuring how much power these people have.
could you please say that again?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, they are measuring in this experiment, they're measuring how much power people have. They're measuring their power. So what are they having them to punch something to see how hard they can punch something? They're measuring their power. Is that what they're measuring?
No, it's body language. She uses body language.
Mhm. Okay, they're measuring body language.
Yes.
Okay, Sandra agrees. She's shaking her head like,
Yes.
"Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
Yes. Because
Definitely." Okay.
she wants to uh, figure out or how our bodies change our minds, or
Mhm.
how, yeah, how we expression
Mhm.
is change our minds. For example, she say, maybe I can have the posture with
Mhm.
them power, but inside maybe I don't feel empowered.
Mhm.
That's maybe she has, or she want to, eh,
Okay, so let's use our noun clause. I tell Machiko this all the time. That's what she's
yeah,
measuring or what
that
she's testing for.
yeah, that's one she wants to test. How
Okay.
can I figure out, or how can change our mind without without expression or something,
Okay.
with, yeah,
With expression or without expression?
without expression.
What do you mean? Like without smiling?
Yeah, yeah, because she say she has
Mhm.
she she say one example
Mhm.
for when I smile, but
Yes.
yeah, but
Mhm.
he say maybe I that is not a real smile or something
Why
like that.
isn't it real? So she gave that example. Why are you smiling?
Yeah,
Because
because in the expression maybe can you can see which is the real expression, maybe.
you can
I
see
think
the
so.
real expression. Okay, I think all the pieces are there. We're going to just organize them a little bit more, okay?
Okay.
Okay, anybody, the question on the floor is this is an experiment, okay? They're testing for something. What are they testing for? Oh, Fook, what do
Right
you
answer.
think? Yes.
I think they are trying to measure hormones in this experiment, especially testosterone and cortisol levels of the participants,
Mm-hmm.
and to see if changing their body language, if they can affect or change these hormones in their body in 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. So they're giving them high power poses. For example, can y'all do high power poses? I'm going to pan the room. Give me a high power pose, Wonder Woman. Give me a high power pose. There we go. More power, Machiko, more power. Okay, so we got high power poses. Okay, so those are high power poses, all right? So the participant in the experiment does a high power pose for 2 minutes, or Wonder Woman pose, high power. And then what happens after that? They're measuring something in that participant. They're not measuring their power. How can they measure their power? Like, how can you do that? They're measuring their hormones. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, they're measuring their hormones. So what does that mean? What are they had them to spit into a vial and they're measuring the hormones, the two hormones, what are they and what do they I guess what do they tell us?
She mentions two hormones, and one is testosterone, the dominance hormone.
Okay. Now tell us, what do you think? Oh, I'm gonna use this. Okay. What do you think? One is testosterone, and what's the other hormone? I bet you still remember it. It's a common hormone.
Cos-
Cortisol.
cortisol, the stress reactive hormone.
Stress reactive hormone. Okay. Or stress induced. So if we're really stressed, our cortisol is what? High. And if we're really feeling powerful, our testosterone is. So women have testosterone, right? Is that what happens? Okay, we have less, but we have it. Okay, we got that. All right, so testosterone's high when you're feeling powerful. Cortisol levels are levels of stress. Okay, and if it's high, that is, I guess, a bad indicator for a leader. All right, so that's what they're measuring. Just for the record, can we do some low power poses? Just so we're clear, low power. Don't forget the facial expressions. Low power. Oh, good. We're good, Machika. There we go. Let's dig in. Dig in. I'm not feeling that, guys. I didn't feel. I felt like you were just a little too powerful on that. Okay. Okay. So those are low power poses. All right. After participants did the high power poses, how did their cortisol and their testosterone levels measure? What did the test tell them about their cortisol and their testosterone level after a high power pose? High power. That's a confusing question. Ufu, can you clear up my question so it makes sense? Can you make it make sense?
So, do you want me to repeat the question or answer it?
Question, just so we understand the question. I don't think I was clear.
Um, I think you asked that what happened to their hormones or testosterone level after they have these high power poses.
A high power, like a high power pose. Versus what happens to their testosterone and cortisol after doing a low power pose for 2 minutes. Our minds change, but are they measuring our minds? How are they going to measure our minds?
No. No, I mean, I mean, maybe for that test, when we were for that posture for 2 minutes, maybe my mind changed a little bit.
But
No?
did they measure your mind? Did they measure your mind before the high power pose and after the high power pose? Did they measure your mind?
No.
Like, did they weigh your mind? Did they
No.
read your mind, like with a psychic hand reader? Or did they put a brain cap on you and measure your brain waves?
I don't know.
They did they the brain cap and they measured the brain waves to see what kind of mind you have, how powerful is your mind?
No. It's more.
Mm.
I don't know.
What are we
How
measuring?
do
Because
you
we have some
feel?
percent, some data,
Yeah,
25%. What did she say? Some percents. I know she said some numbers. What were those numbers about? The percents.
percent, 30%. I don't remember
30%.
30%.
There were some percents. Anybody remember what the percents
No,
were for?
the ho- for the percentage. Yeah,
They were measuring risk taking, 30% risk taking.
Risk taking
It was a
risk
30% risk taking,
is uh,
a 30% risk taking increase.
increase after pausing, right? Hyper pausing after hyper pausing
Or high
for two
power.
minutes. Hyper pausing for 2 minutes. Their risk taking percentage. It means um, it's try to gamble. That percentage is go up.
But what are they measuring? Because you spit in something and
It's
they're measuring something in that spit. Is it your risk? Oh, spit in there, Machiko. Let me see your
I
risk. Is that what they're measuring? Your risk?
I don't know that word in English.
Hormones?
It's
Spit sample, and they're measuring something from your spit, something biological from your spit. What are they measuring? Not Machiko. I want to call you Machiko. Ufuk, what are they measuring?
Again, maybe the hormones.
Your hormones, cortisol, testosterone. And they're saying the testosterone. So, what did they note? After the participant did a high power pose for 2 minutes, what did they notice in the changes in their testosterone and their cortisol levels?
Yeah, they noticed that testosterone level increased and cortisol decreased after high power pose.
After the high power pose. And what about the low power pose? What did they notice
In
about
this,
those
it was
hormones?
the opposite.
It was the opposite. Cortisol levels increased, testosterone levels
Decreased.
decreased. So, what's the conclusion of the experiment? Machiko, great, thank you.
Thank you.
what's conclusion?
Of the
What's
experiment, what do you think the conclusion of the experiment will be?
what's conclusion? The power pose affect their hormones. Then hormone affect their
Mm-hmm.
mindset.
Thank you for your support. I
Thank
share.
you.
Yeah, no. Do you want to say something?
Yes, I agree with my chico. These hormonals changing. Yeah, it's okay. This hormonal changing to manage our ability, like high stress, pressure, something situation. Yes, like that. For example, we have no we face uh, stressful situation.
Mhm.
This hormonal changing, thanks to this hormonal changing, we handle this situation.
Yes, exactly. So that's the next step. That's the next link. Okay, because okay, thank you, Aisha. All right, so what Aisha is saying, what Aisha is saying is that these okay, so these cortisol levels and these testosterone levels, if our testosterone is high, we're high power, and our cortisol is low, we're low stress, and we're more equipped to handle very stressful leadership type situations and problems like a president may have to do, or the leader of a company or a manager, versus if our cortisol is high and our testosterone is low, we're just the opposite. We're ill equipped to handle challenging situations. Okay, we're going to finish this off, but let's just wrap it up by asking the question, what does that have to do with these poor women in this business class that are chronically more often demonstrating or walking in and just kind of curling up folding over, very low power poses, and they're not participating as much in class, and they have lower grades than the guys. Even though their resumes are equal and they're equally qualified, they're still underperforming. Okay, connect this experiment to what implications it can have in this business class.
Okay, so
Was the question clear?
yeah, I think question was how we can link this experiment with the problem in the classroom, right?
Yes.
And I think, yeah, the answer is if or what they want to achieve is if we can make people change their body language or their poses, and let's see if it will affect their grades or if we can change their hormones and their mindset at the end of the day, or minds or their approaches, their participations.
Yes, they can fake it and maybe change how much they participate in the class, like have real life outcomes from faking it. Okay, we're gonna finish this off. Has anybody had any experience like that? Like you just had to fake it until you made it, and somehow that got you a real life income, like it, not income, outcome. I just need more money. Okay, it got you a real life outcome. Like it changed something in your life in a positive way. You had to fake it until, okay, because had something. Share, share, share. Do share.
Um, yeah, I didn't have actually, but I can give. I believe in interviews it works. I mean, I usually how can I say um I try to do more stand more straight my back. So if I do
Sit up
that,
straight.
yes, stop
Mhm.
straight. And just I mean, how can I say in the interviews I pay more attention on my posture. So
Mhm.
that makes me feel more confident probably.
Mhm.
um, it affects my responses to the questions. So I believe
It works. It works.
in the conversations.
And here's the question: if you don't vote for yourself, who else is going to vote for you?
Yes.
If you don't vote for yourself, who else is going to vote for you? If you're showing everybody, I'm not very smart, I can't answer the question, I don't know anything, don't call on me, they're going to believe you. And if you show everybody, I'm Wonder Woman, you could even be saying kind of stupid stuff, and they may still, say, oh, there's some genius in that, because you're showing them who you think you are, and they're inclined to believe you. Okay, any other life changing situations? Nothing. A focus like not a one, not a one. Nothing ever, never faked it till I made it. No, unfortunately. Not yet.
No, I have a lot of experience.
Okay.
No, yeah, but I agree with you because that is totally true. Because when you imagine you can do that something you can do. Yeah,
Okay.
that is totally true because our child how do you say that, child, yeah,
Instinct or
instinct,
okay.
or we have one boss
Mm-hmm. Internal
intern
boss.
boss
Uh
say
huh.
something every
Internal
day, bad
voice.
and good
Uh
things.
huh. Internal voice.
Yeah,
Internal
internal voice.
voice. Uh
Yeah,
huh.
but if you following the good voice, you can do it wherever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah, that is that I agree with you because when I have a lot of experience with my learning language in English,
Yeah.
because when the first moment when I meet for my first job with my boss, your language, your body language, that got a lot of you because you are meeting with a new person, but your body is talking for for you, or for, yeah,
Mhm.
because the person you didn't know you. If in the finish for that video, uh, uh, I watch something, and some people when going to a meet for a new job is with this. And you need to pay attention. What do you do in that job? What do you want to do that in
Mhm.
that place?
Mhm.
Because other people for you is is the first time know you.
It's their first
It's the
impression
first,
of you.
yeah.
That this interview is not very
Is,
important to you.
yeah, but
Uh-huh.
is that is not solo, it's not only for the interview, is for all things, because the people is know you, and maybe you show more things
Well, you're
without
showing
speak.
that without speaking,
Yeah,
you're showing them what you think of yourself.
yeah, that's true. And that's
Hmm.
the reason I very agree with his
But now,
speak.
now
Yeah.
here we're asking a different question. We're asking, can you change what you think of yourself with your body language?
Yes,
Can
you
you even
can.
fake yourself?
Yeah,
Can you change what you think about yourself with your body language? But
that's
Chico,
true.
your time has
Your
come.
time.
Champion sis. Okay, okay, you have something, or do you want me to put a question on the floor?
How body language linked
Mm-hmm.
my mind in my
Changes.
life.
Okay, so my
Question.
question is, have you ever had to fake it until you made it? Have you ever had to kind of fill these big shoes or fill this role or act like you were something that you really didn't feel like you were until in time by doing that you actually became that thing?
I when I think about that, I remember one memory, one event.
Yes, yes.
It's it job interview, third grade in university, college. Most of students
Okay, your
start
third
to
year. So this is your junior year of college.
junior year of college.
Yes.
Most of students begin to job interview to get job to go some company at the same time, and I it was hard time to me. It, I even now I remember my first job interview. As you know, I'm bad at speaking in public,
I don't
so
know that.
so
Nobody knows that.
so I even now I remember clearly my first job interview. It was bank. I and interviewer. There were many students there, and the interview in order the student get job interview in order. Interviewer called us next. So I interviewer maybe they asked me what why did you choose our company, and or what do you want to do if you become a member of our company. And I was just freezed, and I couldn't say anything, and I'm sorry. That's it. It's I didn't say anything. My mind went blank, and I was shaking. So after that, I I practiced. mm at that time, I didn't prepare anything. So after that, I prepare. mm I prepare question and answer, and I practice. I practice speaking something many times, and I also try to change my pose behavior.
How you just your sitting up straight, just your posture, your disposition, maybe not disposition, but just your gestures and your body movements. Hmm.
I I looked as a student, everyone got nervous, but some student like that, and some students they are very stand up beautifully, and I was I was small, I was like that, and I began to mimic them, mimic students who sit with confidence. With
Hmm.
I'm not sure if they have confidence or not, but looks confidence. And I mimic them. Then I began to feel confidence. N- Not big confidence. Practice at home and mimic their pose. Then I somehow I I kept continue. I kept go to job interview.
Hmm. How'd it go? What was the outcome of the interview?
I I took main company and finally I got job.
Okay, okay. If I can think of a lot of like Sandra, I have lots of experience. I can think of a lot of instances where I had to fake it until I could make it. Um, but I think about when Machika was talking, I thought about my mother because my mom, she never let us walk anywhere slow. She said you have to walk with purpose. And she never let us slouch. We always had to sit up straight. And so I think we convinced ourselves that, we were serious people. We were about something. We were going somewhere. We were doing something, even if we had nothing in mind to really do. But we were convinced that this was our identity because that's what my mother instilled in us, that's the kind of people we were. We were purposeful. But for me, just a anecdotal kind of instance where I had to fake it until I made it, teaching. When I first started teaching, I was out of the university and I was used to having intellectual conversations with other professors and other students. And I got into a classroom with high school students and they weren't interested. And I was kind of, just talking like at a normal voice, normal volume, intellectualizing about whatever our topic was for the day. And I was dying. I mean, they were violently angry.
In 1930, the Republican controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the. Anyone? Anyone?
To death, okay? And I had to have a different personality that really wasn't mine. It wasn't really my way. And I had to become a lot more performative. And I had to consciously do that, like really be performative when I was saying something, leaving spaces in between things, slowing down and speeding up, and really bringing a lot of attention to a particular area. And at first it felt so weird. It really felt weird. Like I'm not performative and it doesn't look intelligent. That's how I felt inside my body. But I don't know when it happened, but one day that became who I was. That was the kind of teacher I was. And now, in the middle of a lesson, I could just fall on the floor. If I need to fall on the floor for an example, I will be on the floor. I'll see you there. I became that, and that really improved my teaching. And so that was my memory of faking it until I make it. So, guys, I recommend that to you. Fake it until you make it. That's the point here.
I'm Ufuk. Goodbye.
I'm Machiko. Thank you for watching, listening. See you next time.
I'm Sandra. Thank you.
Gizem, thank you.
I'm Jonay. Thank you so much.
I'm Aisha. Thank you.
And our smallest participant today, we have, how old is Tyga?
Tiger. 4 months.
Okay, people, don't leave your children for me to babysit. You can see this is Tyga, and he wants to say goodbye to everybody and thank you for taking the time to listen to us today. Bye bye. Hasta pronto.